All right. So, can we work on the Sabbath day? Okay. I just want to say one thing first, that the law consists of two things. It consists of the law of the letter and the law of grace, right? So, what is the letter? The scripture says that the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. What is the spirit? Romans 7:12 says the law is spiritual. So if you're going to be spiritual, that means you must walk in the law, meaning walk in the commandments. And yes, that entails keeping the Sabbath. You understand? This is why Christ said, if you break one of the least commandments, you shall be called least in the kingdom. But understand that we're not judged according to the law of the letter. Now, what is the law of the letter? Again, the letter killeth, but the spirit make alive, but the spirit giveth life. Okay? Remember, in the book of Proverbs, it says, keep my commandments and live. So, for example, under the letter, no flesh shall be saved. If you ever talk back to your parents, the law of the letter said you have to die. You broke the Sabbath, the law of the letter said you have to die. Homosexuality, the law of the letter said you have to die. Incest, the law of the letter said you have to die. You understand? So, let me tell you, like, for example, at one particular point when I was keeping the Sabbath, because like me, I don't believe that the Sabbath is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. I go according to the new moon. The new moon come, I count out. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But back then, I believed it was Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. And I had my Chevy Impala at the time, and I stopped to use the bathroom because I was going to a different city, and I had to urinate, couldn't hold it. And there was a guy out there, and he had 3 kids, and he was like, "Hey man, can you help me and my kids out?" So I gave him $20, and I bought a pizza from Little Caesars. Did I break the Sabbath? Yes, I broke it. So I broke the law according to the letter, but we're not under the letter anymore. We are under Christ, right? And what did Christ say? Christ said it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath. So remember, he says that he is the Lord of the Sabbath, okay? Meaning he governs and furnishes the Sabbath how he wants. It is lawful to do well. Well means moral, or well means to do good on the Sabbath. Okay, it's lawful to do well on the Sabbath. You understand? So I did well. So I can't be judged according to the letter because I'm under Christ. I did well on the Sabbath. Now, if it was a situation where as if somebody say, hey, or if somebody was like, hey, look, I'm selling these on the Sabbath. I'm selling a bracelet on the Sabbath. Can I buy it? Absolutely not, because that would not be lawful. It wouldn't be moral to do that on the Sabbath. Now, if I got to, say for example, if I got to work Friday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., right? 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I'm going to go ahead and go to work. You understand? I challenge anybody, because I knew a guy who, when he first got in the truth, he was like, man, I'm not working. Man, I'm not working, man. I don't care about this cow. I'm not working on the Sabbath. And he lost his job. His child support started accumulating. And when he went to get it, to let them know he lost his job, they sent the letter to say why he lost his job. He didn't want to come to work on a Saturday. Okay? That's because he tried to keep the law according to the letter. You understand? And you cannot keep the law according to the letter. Remember, the law is fulfilled within us. Christ was made a curse for us. Christ told the man to pick up his bed and walk after he healed him. So people want to say situational ethics. That was a situation where it was lawful to do well on the Sabbath after he healed him. And yes, that's breaking the Sabbath, because the law said you cannot carry a burden on the Sabbath. So I'm under Christ. You know what I mean? So can I ignore the Sabbath? Absolutely not. But I can do well on the Sabbath, meaning I can do moral on the Sabbath. So if I'm scheduled to work, I'm going to go to work. But guess what? I'm making my lunch the day before. I'm making my, my sandwiches, getting my chips, my drinks together, and I'm not going to exchange money on the Sabbath. Because I'm still observing the Sabbath, but I'm not keeping it according to the letter. You know what I'm saying? This is why the scripture says, in the book of Romans, it says, but now we have been delivered from the law, having died to what we were held by. And what was that? That's the letter. So that we should serve in newness of spirit and not the oldness of the letter. And what was the oldness of the letter? Putting away by death. You understand? For example, the Feast of Tabernacles. That was a perpetual thing. Just as it's the Sabbath. We have to observe it throughout all of our generations as a memorial. So, what we do, dwelt in tents. Now, I'm going to let you know, I'm not about to go out and dwell in no tent unless I'm going camping. But does that mean, because it said that God not dwell in places built with hands. We are the temple. We are the tabernacle. So we still going to come together and congregate to observe the Feast of Tabernacle because that's a commandment. But the letter of it is done away with. We're not sacrificing on those days, and we are not we don't have to dwell in tents. Now, if you want to, that's fine. That's even better, but you don't have to. We are the temple. The law is fulfilled within us. We are the temple. We are the tabernacle. We come together and congregate. We still observe it, but not according to the letter. Circumcision, okay? Now it's been a little conflict on circumcision. So we know that the new covenant is the circumcision of the heart. He write it in our hearts. Well, our hearts is our state of mind. So we accustom ourselves to Christ, and we walk as he did. He kept the laws and the commandments. You understand? So, the circumcision is of the heart. Now, according to the letter, on the 8th day, you get circumcised. The mother go through a purification process, and then a sacrifice is made. That's the letter, but we don't go according to the letter. Circumcision now is of the heart. You know, circumcision is of the heart. That's customizing yourself to how Christ walked. And what he do? He said it's lawful. If your sheep falls in, you got to work to get them out. You fall on a Sabbath, we have to work to get them out. And how much more important their life is than yours. So if you have to work to feed your family, go to work. You understand? Because we're not judged according to the letter. Now, if you got a couple dollars and you want to go shopping, you know, to buy clothes and stuff like that and shoes, then yes, you will be violating grace, because you're going beyond grace. You know, for example, if I give somebody grace and I say you can drive my car to the store, right? And you keep my car all day, you took advantage of my grace. You get where I'm coming from? So yes, we're not gonna transgress the law we're not going to transgress the law according to faith, not according to the letter. What's the letter? Again, you sin, you die. And under that, no flesh will be saved. Because everybody done talk back to their mama. Everybody done something. You know what I'm saying? And remember, under the law of Moses, which is the law of the letter, you get put to death by 2 or 3 witnesses without mercy. Going into the dietary laws. Yes, it's a sin to eat pork. Yes, it is a sin to eat everything it told us not to eat in Deuteronomy 14. You understand? Because we don't get grace to eat whatever we want. That's not grace. You understand? So the letter is just basically putting away according to death. You know, you sin, you die. We are not judged by that law anymore. So that's what I wanted to share.